Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now, this is a very poignant case. This is one that, I got a call on Sunday night about a certain situation, and I've never heard a story this sad and this disturbing. It disturbed me greatly. And I think you all really want to hear this story because I never knew I knew things like this could happen in life, but I really never expected that I would hear a real live person come out and say it, in their own words. Anyway, here is what this young lady called me from overseas. Is a friend of a friend. I know her, but just with passing acquaintances. Having listened to my channel, she had decided to reach out to me on a certain matter. All right. I don't know where to begin the story, but let us begin, say, when her mother got pregnant with her. Her mother got pregnant with her while her mother's real boyfriend was off the island on farm work. You understand? The mother got pregnant with her, not for her real man, but for another man, while her real man was on farm work. So you see, when the man came back into the island and realized he spent maybe about 9 months probably away, and when he came back just in time when she was heavily pregnant, and him know it couldn't be him. So anyway, she decided she kept the baby, but she decided that she would not really she didn't want to have anything to do with the other man. She decided to keep the little girl though, which is the person who speaking to me, relating the story. What then happened is that she grew up with the mother, but this man came into her life. This man who came back from overseas, he came back and he eventually got married to her sometime after. Having married to her, they lived together for a number of years until she this little girl's mother now, she started to have more kids. So she had 2 sons and a daughter. The first child was born when this young lady was about 7 years old. 1 child born, and then about 2 years after, another son born, and then about 2 or 3 years later, a daughter born. So the 4 kids were in the house, but because she was the eldest, she became mother to her 3 younger siblings. She was treated basically like a Cinderella. She had to cook. She had to learn to cook at an early age. She had to bathe them. She had to comb them hair, wash their clothes, learn to cook and look after them, while the mother did very little to assist. The father, they abused her because they see her as an outside child, and her being somewhat of an outside child, she was abused. She was physically and verbally abused. She was beaten on many occasions for the slightest things, and she had to clean up any mess that her 3 younger siblings made. It's like she get the blame for everything. Her life was really a mess. She had to look after them and see that their uniform pressed by the time she reached ready for high school at about 11 going 12. She had to press their uniform and so on before she could get ready for school, fix the breakfast and all of that. So she had a lot bearing as a young child. On top of that, her stepfather abused her, not only because he hated her, because she, like him, feel that she was the one who interceded into his life by being born. you know, and therefore she went through hell over those years. What was the saddest thing? One of the saddest thing about it was that when she was 13 years old and watch night service, her mother had gone to watch night service, and her stepfather was out drinking at the bar with his buddies. And when he came back home, he raped her. At the age of 13, she went through it. She knew she couldn't go to anybody. She couldn't tell her anywhere, anybody, because she don't think she would be believed, because she was belittled in the family, and all her neighbors sort of knew that she was just the runt of the family, so to speak. Anyway, after that night, she knew that she would have been accused by the mother of being the perpetrator of the act if she said anything, so she kept silent. And her silence just made things worse, because anytime the man got a chance, like, because she said that the mother go to church like twice a week, both on Sundays and must say Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember. But on those days when she's there, the man, he had some family that lived next door, and he would send the kids next door. And while she's there, maybe doing her homework or washing up dishes or mopping or doing something, because, she had this Cinderella life, the man would take her and sexually abuse her. And this went on for quite some time. She said that she remembered an incident where a few years earlier, when she was about 6, a man came to the house, a man came to the yard and knocked on the gate and came in and then said, looked at her and said he was her father. He said from him look at her, he knew she was. And the mother came out, and the mother chased the man away, took up a broom after him, and he went through the gate, and the mother picked up stone and threw after the man and run him away. But she said because she grew up without a father, she had no idea, because her mother never told her anything about her father or having a father or who her father was. But she knew that this other man that her mother is married to was not her father. She knew that because of the way he treated her, and he made it his point of duty to tell her that she does not belong to him. And the mother supported her husband in abusing this girl. Anyway, when she started going to high school, she had a friend in the class who told her the story, because it's Clarendon. Let me say, this was in Clarendon. I won't mention the town or the area in Clarendon, but this is Clarendon, and people know people. And somebody in her class told her who her father was, and that she knew the father's sister, and she could take her to meet her father's sister if she wanted to know her family, her father's side of the family. And one evening after school, she went with the girl, and the girl took her to a particular other community and took her to this lady. And when she went up to the lady said, as me see you, I come through the gate, me know say you are so and so, pick me. The lady said, I'm your aunt, you are the spitting image of my brother. I didn't even have to, from I see you come through the gate, I knew who you were as I saw you. And this lady now put her in touch with her real father. Because by this time her real father now had gone back overseas, and she got in touch with him and so on. It so happens that she told her newfound aunt, that she was also being not only verbally abused, but that the man was abusing her sexually. That this time now she was about 14. And news got back round, because in those communities, news got back round, and the girl's mother heard, that this was being said, and her mother put her out, throw her out, and said that she's telling lie on her husband, and she hear that she telling lie on her husband, and put her out and disgrace her in the worst way in front of the family, in front of the community. But she moved out and she go live with her aunt. She said that the worst thing her mother said to her is, you know, say, and a little try me try for dash away. In other words, is that little time I tried to end the pregnancy. You say, at two different black pan, me boil for you. Now, if you are not a Jamaican, you will not know what a black pan is. So let me explain black pan. Black pan is that concoction of herbs that women who want to get rid of a pregnancy will boil these herbs and drink it, and when they drink it, it causes the womb to contract and expel any fetus inside of it, and they call this black pan. I think the term black pan might come from the fact that they would put this on a wood fire, and you know the wood fire will. They don't normally use the cooking pots to do it. They get some kind of a can, some kind of a other, like, you know, them cheese pan or some other kind of pan that they can use and throw away. So they will get one of these pans, put it on the wood fire to boil for a long time to get out all the chemicals into the liquid, and then they would drink that, and it would cause the fetus to be expelled from the wound. So the mother said, a two black pan me boil for you, and it did not work. So she said that was the worst thing, because she said her mother tried to get rid of her on at least 2 occasions. You know, so with that, she said she left. Anyway, fast forward, her father took her to eventually get her to go to United States, and she went up there to her father, went to school, passed her exams, had a lovely life, became a lawyer. As a matter of fact, she is now one of the youngest judges in the United States, in the small court. I don't remember the name that she said, but she has now become a judge, right, in her early 40s. Now, what she's saying is that over the years, they had not been in touch with her, but they eventually got in touch with her in the past, maybe 5 or 6 years. You know, so for 30 years or nearly 30 years, she had no contact with them. But when they got in touch with her at first, it was because the father was dying of cancer, and her brothers called her, because they were like talking to her for a little while, maybe a few months. Then they told her, eventually they told her that the father had cancer, and you know, if she could do anything to assist the father with the cancer. And she said no, she wouldn't help. She said, when she said that, she said it was the 2 brothers who were communicating with her at the time. All 3 of them were communicating with her. But she said from she said that, the 2 brothers cussed her out, and they never kept in touch. The sister, though, the smaller sister, kept in touch with her, never treated her in any way bad, never asked her for anything, but was just being nice. She just wanted to have a sister, and this was the only sister she knew of. And she and the sister formed a bond. Anyway, and that the 2 boys, I know one is in construction. Say one of them is in construction, one drive a taxi, and the sister, which is the youngest one, she works in a hospital. I think she's a nurse's aide or nurse or something, but she works in a hospital. Anyway, fast forward. It so happens that the father died probably about 3 years ago. Now the mother has passed on. Now the brothers get back in touch with her and say, she need to help to bury her mother. She is saying if it is fair to her after this lady treated her like that for she to actually put anything towards the funeral, she said that she actually feels nothing. She said she doesn't feel like she has lost anything because she said she doesn't feel like she ever did ever even really have a mother. So there was no connection. She said learning of her death, she says, baby, there was nothing. Nothing. She felt nothing. It's not that she was trying to pretend or what, but there was just nothing there. She said there were one or two occasions when the brothers, when she was on somewhat good terms, good quote unquote, good terms with the brothers, they used to say, Mommy, say hi. But she never got on the phone and tried to call her, and she never tried to really make contact with her herself. But the brothers say she's saying hi. Now she's asking me, she said, I can afford to bury her, But the fact is, I don't feel comfortable doing it because I don't feel I am recognized. I don't feel that I'm part of the family or anything, and I don't think it's up to me to have any output to do with it, So she's asking me, what do I think? I think more or less she wanted to relay her story, but she wanted to know what I think. And here is what I told her. I told her, I said, listen, man, you are under no obligation to do anything. As a matter of fact, simply don't. She said, people going to say, are your mother already? It's already your mother? But listen, that's rubbish. Let me tell you something about family. Family is anybody who cares about you. Family is those who respects you, loves you, and are there for you. No matter how a person share the same blood with you, they have the same DNA as you, no matter how close. If they do not treat you as a decent human being and treat you with love and respect and appreciation, you have absolutely no obligation to even see them as family, much less to call them family. Family are only those people who care for you. That's it. End of story. Family are those who, so in other words, family are not necessarily flesh and blood. Family is just everybody who cares for you and loves you and treats you well. Those are family. So this lady, do not send $1 to bury her. That's my opinion. And she, having wanted to get rid of you and wanted to kill you before you were born, you don't owe her any obligation whatsoever. You are only here by buck up, by chance. It's just by chance why you are here. And being here by chance, you don't have to pay her any obligation, because if the black pan had been potent enough, or she had been successful with the black pan that she boiled, you would not be here. And you need not. She has no regards for you. Don't pay her any mind. What I would suggest, though, if you really want to appease your conscience, here is what you need to do. You see, that sister, you want to keep her close because she seemed to genuinely care for you, and she is not making any demands of you. Send her maybe 100 US or 150 US. Since, based on what you're saying, the 9 night is already gone, but the setup is coming up. The setup is what is kept before the day of the funeral. If you're not a Jamaican, you will not understand that. That's when you have some festivities and eating and drinking and singing or party type thing the day before the funeral goes. The eve of the funeral, right up into after midnight most times. So what you would need to do, send her $100, maybe 150 max. And when you send that to her, ask her to, just cause that as her contribution to the setup. her contribution to the setup just to make her look good. So you're not doing it for the mother, you're doing it for your sister to just take like a shame out of her face, just she can show up on people and say, I provided for the setup, I did the setup, I bought the food, I pay so and so, maybe 150 US. And then once you do that, now you can say, okay, you helped your sister. But apart from that, don't do anything more. The only thing I wish you could have done is when she was sick and on her deathbed, you just go up to her and smile. And just smile, and without a word, just turn around and walk away. That's what I would hope could have happened if you knew she was dying, and if she was not already dead. You should have gone down to her place, watch her on her deathbed, and just stand up over her and make she see you. Wear your best jewelry and look your very best and let her see. And tell her, listen, darling, I'm a lawyer now, I'm a judge, and this is my bank account. Bring a bank statement and show her or whatever. And then just turn around and walk out without buying a Panadol for her, a pill or a Band-Aid, and just turn around and walk out. Yeah? But since she's already gone, you're under no obligation. Just leave it at that. Yeah? So that's my advice. And if anybody think I'm wrong, feel free to leave a comment and let me know why you take a different position to mine. Yeah? So guys, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Thank you for listening.